Hello everybody, today's my birthday. I'm having a fun, relaxing day. Mom's at work. Just made some potatoes of Kevin. See, I use this ricer, or not really a ricer, this chopper, but it's one of those ones where you push down and it cuts them in like really long, like a fry maker. It's a julienne, I guess is what you want to call it. I don't know, julienne's things. Um, And I was originally going to julienne them, then cut them into squares. But by the time I got to the cutting part, I was so pissed off. I said, you know what? Those are mini fries. I'm just going to have mini fries. I'm going to call it potatoes of Kevin. So, I don't know what this video is going to be. Usually I title my videos so you know what's going on. I don't know if I should... I mean, I need to farm stuff for my characters in midnight, so they can get their enchanting and their jewel crafting and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like I also want to get my Deathbone armor from Skullomance. Just that's a lot of farming. I think they reduced the drop rate, a long time ago before they really fucked up Skullomance. They, reduced the drop rate in so many things. And it just wasn't even cool anymore. But, and it's the same drop rate. Like, why couldn't they release Skullomance for, why can't they have it like a scalable dungeon with the same amount of mobs they did on release, or maybe not release. Release it was really okay. So I want to set the record straight here about some morons in the universe. Nobody actually argued with me on any of my posts, but I got to it. I mean, on my videos, but I did get into minor argument. Surprise, surprise. With the moron on the general discussion, right? And I talked about how you could take 10 or 15 people into Dire Mall. I couldn't remember which. And he decided to correct me, right? Jerkoff decided to try and correct me, okay? And he said, you could never take 15 people in the Dire Mall. It came out when it was capped, blah, 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 blah. I'm starting to wonder if you were ever even here during vanilla. First of all, I've got my goddamn screenshots from getting my epic horse. Fuck off. I've got screenshots of my character. Things that are old.
Light bless you.
Properly dated. That sort of thing. I'm gonna wear a fish head. I'm gonna have some fun. So, but I did think, was my memory wrong about Dire Mall? Because I knew I was in a group of 15 people Skullomance once. I knew I was in a group with, actually, I'm pretty sure it was a group of fucking 20 people with Stratholme. Everybody wanted to join that one day. Everybody wanted to join. There were 20-some people. Everybody just moved right in. Went right in. Even if you were low level, you were in there. You were in the zone. So, somehow it happened. Right? But Dire Mall was a different beast. It was like, what the hell? Did I get it wrong? Because technically Dire Mall was later. It absolutely was later. And
go with honor.
So I looked it up because and one of my friends, almost there's so many. You know what? I only have one friend left who plays this game. The others either quit or are dead. It kind of sucks, right? They either quit or they're dead. So I asked them, Or I went
careful.
online. I looked on online, and sure enough, I found it. Even though Dire Maul was technically released after they started capping instances, it was right when they were trying to figure out how to program instance capping. The instance capping was fucked. And the moment that I read that, where it said people were able to, and I had to use Google AI to search for it. Google AI actually found the links. And Google AI said, yes, Dire Maul was released after the instance cap. They were only ever supposed to have 5 people in it. However, people were able to exploit, and then or not exploit, people were able to enter, and then I remembered, oh my god, that's right, Dire Maul had like 2 hot patches within the first week and a half that it came out. 2 major hot patches. And in fact, I think there were actually a couple of minor hot patches as well. You know, they don't always record the hot patches. They don't. I remembered, oh, that's right. When it came out, my friend said, come on, we'll have some fun. We walked in there. There was an issue. Some people were being teleported to the graveyard. Other people were able to get in. No matter what happened, there were 15 people in the group who attempted it, but we still had at least 6 to 10 in the fucking instance. I can't remember how many actually made it in. I think at the end of it, we had 10. And nobody could figure out what the hell was going on, and whether or not it was supposed to just be 5. That's what happened. And it's like only people who were around at that time would have the same memory that I have. Unless they didn't try to enter Dire Maul. You know what I mean? And that's just a fact. So when I read that, I thought, I knew it. I was right. I wasn't wrong. I knew the guy was full of shit when he claimed that Strathholm was always ever 5. Bull fucking shit. He was only ever intended to be 5. No, they were actually doing tests on server stability and instancing stability. That's why Skullomance and Strath were released with, I believe, no actual cap. But they were, you know, I don't think there was actually a cap. It's just that the amount of drops, people didn't want to have too big of a group because it would be useless. I was in at least 2 groups with Skullomance. 1 or 2 groups that were at 15. I know with Strath, the first group I was in is 20 or more. I can't remember how many were actually in there. I know it was definitely 4 groups. Although maybe they only had like a couple groups of like 1 or 2. I don't know. I know that right before they did the cap at 5, my friend, that was the first time I met my friend of like 24 years now, I think. 22 years now. I got into his group and I saw him running around spamming Arcane. Because, you know, when I first played, I came from EverQuest, and my idea was careful execution of pulling and tanking and taking each one separately to make sure nobody got hurt. In World of Warcraft, everyone wanted to be a god. It's like, but you might die, you know? And no, you don't understand. This is World of Warcraft. This isn't EverQuest where like a fucking rabbit can kill you, right? Actually, that's Ultima Online. They're infamous for their killer rabbits. I never played that one, but you know, EverQuest, you know, like a beetle. If you pulled too many beetles, it'd wipe the whole group, right? One shot kill of the healer, and then everybody's dead. Now it's a lot better. It's nowhere near like what it was 24, 25 years ago. So he was running around spamming Arcane Explosion. And like, you can do that? You don't worry. Well, he's going to die. What if he dies? I even mentioned that. I said, you might die. Please be careful. Don't worry. We know what we're doing. That all they knew what they were doing was having fun and blowing shit up. Actually, my friend was part of Alpha. He was been around for a while, so he knew exactly what he could do. They all knew what they could do. And so it's just such a vivid memory. This giant group of people. A couple of them did get ported to the wherever it was, the midnight. Locate the image of lady. Okay, I go there. Like, what was I saying? I think a couple people did get ported to the graveyard, but somehow everybody managed to get in, and we went all the way through Rivendare, and Baron Rivendare died in seconds, just seconds. And then we all left, and then they swapped out leaders, and then one leader entered and reset the instance, because this is before you had reset all instances. This did not exist back then. See, this is what I'm highlighting, reset all instances. That did not exist. What you had to load up a different character who hadn't been in that group, have them enter, and then invite everybody in, right? Or everybody invited him, and then they'd enter his instance, a brand new instance. I'm pretty sure we did like 2 or 3 runs that day. Even with almost 20 people or close to it, some people left. Even with that many people, there were so many NPCs that it was actually a challenge to get to the boss. But once we got to the bosses were just steamrolled, because they were really only built for like 10 at that point, 10 or 15. It's something like that at that point. I remember thinking the abominations were the most difficult ones. And Ramstein, and then actually to this day, they still are pretty difficult. The Honor Guard, or wherever they were, something like 8 or 10 of them. And then they were nerfed down to 6, but it's like 8 or 10 originally. I wish I could remember how many. I just remember there are quite a few. Those guys, 1-hit kill. Even on the tanks. The tanks is like 2 or 3 hit kills. They have like an instant kill crit, something like that. That's been severely nerfed into the ground since. But back then they were serious. And so one run, I think they actually wiped the group on one run. And then you had the runners, a couple hundred, I won't say hundreds, but I think it was only like 200 skeletons running out of the gate to swarm you and try to kill you. They were coming from Nax, which wasn't an instance yet, but that was the dialogue. Because the Lich King has spent that year building Naxxramas, however you pronounce it. That's what Stratholme was, like the undead were building the giant citadel of Nax. I don't know. It's just so much fun, just a lot of fun. And it's just the reason why a lot of people were upset when they nerfed it. That Skullomance. And I'm talking about multiple nerfs, right? Those 2 instances, I think, have been nerfed more times than any other instance in World of Warcraft history. And severely nerfed. God, there were at least... and I'm including the hotfixes that weren't recorded. There are at least 20 or 30 nerfs. And the hotfixes, several of the hotfixes were actual nerfs. In an 8-year period. At least 20 to 30. They were always tuning it. Always nerfing it. Always. And all I could think of is, you know, no other dungeons in World of Warcraft history have experienced that much manipulation. Not even Dire Maul. Dire Maul was also pretty heavily screwed with. No other dungeon. No other dungeon than those two. They're at the top tier. In fact, I think Stratholme experienced the most number of nerfs and alterations. And you go to the wiki sites, and they don't even give you all the times that they were changed. I don't care how many change logs some people have. There were changes that were made that did not have a change log accompanied with it. Like maybe a minor little announcement that's disappeared into the ether. You know? Similar to EverQuest's early years. There were just, like, the patches from the first year alone of EverQuest. You could only find, like, 8 or 10. And there were, like, 50. Sometimes twice a week. 3 times a week. Maybe 50 is too many. I think I'm over exaggerating. I remember there were several weeks where there were 3 patches. And there was only like one preserved change log for an entire month. When I looked it up, I can't remember which month. It was like, oh no, I remember playing during that month. It was down like 3 to 4 times a week, and things are being changed all the fucking time. And they only have one record. In fact, there was one. It was really fucking funny, and I don't know if anyone's found the change log since. But they were talking about how they were adjusting dragons. And said, people can no longer walk into a dragon's lair and say, hello, we believe that dragons don't like intruders and consider it home invasion. Plus, what idiot would do that? It was so funny. It was like a tongue-in-cheek changelog, and I have not been able to find it since. Somebody's got to have it out there. I looked for it like, I guess 10 years ago. Wow, 10 years ago, before I moved here to Grand Junction, because I was trying to find it to show my friend, and I couldn't find it. Maybe somebody's found it since then. That patch message was so fucking funny. They had some really funny patch messages with EverQuest in the first year, and then they changed out the guy who wrote them and decided to make it more technical because somebody was bitching about it. But they were some really damn funny patch logs. Oh, I don't know. Let's get on. This is my birthday stream. I'm just having fun.
I answer to the light.
You answer to the light. I better mute myself before I start swearing. Actually, you know, this isn't that bad. This isn't that bad of an intro. This one and the last one were all pretty good. I'm not going to play anymore. I'm going to skip through all the movies, by the way. I need to get Zathedra. I need to get her so she can start mining shit for my jewel crafters and stuff. So she's going to start mining shit, and I love Zathedra. My headcanon is that she's actually the big sister of a D&D character I had once. Called him Streak. Adolescent blue dragon, but they weren't lawful evil, right? Like they're actually, like kind of like kicked out of the blue dragon. I don't know. We want to say society, but I don't want to say kicked out. It's just like they were a lot nicer than those other blue dragons, so they decided, you know what, the humans are a lot better than you guys. Go fuck off. So I guess you could say they're lawful evil towards blue dragons and are kind of like friendly and positive. I don't want to say, I don't know if the good is the right term, because they will gladly be evil, lawful evil to other blue dragons that are assholes trying to screw them over. But they'll be friendly and helpful and positive toward humans, so maybe they have dual alignments. Like, yeah, more or less lawful. I mean, all the blue dragons in general like to follow the laws because they don't want to get, fuck around with people, So it's kind of like following the laws out of convenience. So lawful and like a combination or like halfway between neutral and good, right? Like I want to say helpful instead of good, And in general, that is kind of sort of technically good. Good is more or less helpful, but you could have good people who aren't helpful, But her whole character is like, and she's in an adventure that I want to put together and sell. I want to put several adventures together and sell. Like one module is a series of modules that are based off of classic literature, and I will include the classic literature with the ebook. I just need to find ones that are totally in public domain. And Gutenberg Library is not totally in the public domain. If you try to sell any transcript from the Gutenberg Library, you have to pay a licensing fee, which is just fucking stupid, as far as I'm concerned. Either you are doing public domain shit, or you're not doing public domain shit. Don't turn around and go and say, "Oh, but you have to pay us." Oh, that's fucking bullshit. So I'm probably going to have to retranscribe these classic novels, right? Unless I can find ones where the transcription is totally in the public domain and non-paid licensing, right? So I'm planning on those, and then some other modules, like with Zathedra specifically. Like her little brother, Streak, he's like an apprentice. Just a general apprentice. Like, he wants to learn how to do things that humans learn, and he thinks it's kind of fun. Like, in, I don't know what dragon years it'll be, but basic human years, he's like 12 years old. It's like, yeah, I want to learn how to blacksmith, so yeah, like, show me. And he doesn't necessarily tell people he's a dragon, but he will say things, and if people actually ask and say, oh yeah, this is I'm a dragon, this is my human form. Usually doesn't, though, because people sometimes treat him differently. Except I think that the blacksmith that he's, and the blacksmith / silversmith / whitesmith, whitesmith deals with steel, blacksmith, basically the smith that he's apprenticing for. I think he figured it out at one point, but he doesn't really treat him any differently. He's just like, no, you have to do it like this. Yeah, because, except I haven't really... Anyway, the whole story, at some point, the blacksmith chides him for using his breath weapon for lightning to melt the steel, because the fire and melting the steel or whatever has to be at controlled temperature. And so at some point, like, he, because Streak keeps wanting to use his breath to... his lightning breath or whatever to melt the steel. It's like, okay, start practicing. You have to be in full control of your breath. And so that sort of thing, that type of story. There are a couple modules with him. With her, she's always like the person who's doing a treasure hunt. In her, like, human form, walking around with her treasure maps, saying, all right, I need some adventurers who aren't stupid so you don't die like the last group. She's never referring to her group, right? Just the last group that went into a dangerous dungeon. So, and if people ever, if the characters or players ever confront her, she says, oh no, I've never had anybody die under my watch. But then again, I don't watch you guys that closely. It's a totally different group, different people entirely. Different leader. Are you going to get hung up about it, or are you going to come along? That type of character. But, so she's always looking for some sort of treasure, but it's never like a mundane treasure. Like, maybe she will get gold just to fund her expeditions, or to buy food, because, she's a dragon, she has to eat a lot. But it's like the stuff that she's searching for are like rare manuscripts before they decay, just to make copies of them, stuff like that. So the stuff she's after, humans, the party growers, are rarely after because there's no way to sell it and make money from it. You know? So, you know, that's Zathedra, right? That's her character I have. All right, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun.
Pleasantries can wait.
All right.
Anaria Shala. I am the blade of the light.
Even with reinforcements, we cannot hold back the devouring host for long. Make haste, champion.
Sharel Aran.
Evacuating the civilians must take priority.
Pleasantries can wait.
No, we need to focus on launching a counterattack.
I answer to the light. Remain vigilant.
We prayed for a miracle, and the vanguard of light answered the call. But the battle yet rages on.
Our forces are scattered. The devouring host will overwhelm us.
Anaria Shala. I am the blade of the light. Fight well.
The vanguard is here to protect. Do not let this evil shake your resolve. The void has no place. Champion, find Eretor. I will rally the vanguard and prepare an assault.
Some must remain to guard the Sunwell. If it falls, all is lost.
The light will shield the land of my ancestors. Be strong, my friend.
Go join the vanguard, Varen. I'll escort everyone to the Sunwell.
I need mana first. I must get closer.
Champion! Over here! What do we need to do? We should let's find the rest of the Vanguard. The High Exarch hates to be disappointed.
Zathedra. If only I had found a way to destroy that accursed... Let your inner fires burn bright, my brethren! We are called to assault the void!
The holy light will ease your pain. Not fall today.
far away. I am out of range. Acquire a target. I must get closer.
Sunwell's glory shine on me.
Of the Light's chosen champions. There is no darkness that will not flee before the light. Be the light that darkness fears. while we have the chance.
Glory to the sun. No, I will not leave my people undefended.
I need to target something first.
The eternal sun still guides us. The might of the sundial.
Vanguard of the light! We make our stand at the gate. For Azeroth! For the light!
Eretor, wait! I must escort these civilians to the docks and get them to safety. There are still many unaccounted for. We cannot abandon them to the void.
Of course, Lorthamar. We'll do everything in our power to safeguard them. Surely the High Exarch can spare us for a moment to save some lives.
Of Eversong endures.
Our strength lies in our people.
Come on, champion! Let's clear a path for the survivors!
The dark times will pass.
Anu Belore Delanar.
Glory to the Sin'dorei.
State your business.
The light will protect you! Done. The way is clear. Ready to fight the fight? I've bested every evil I've faced.
Eretor! Champion! The evacuating ships are under attack!
Baladash, Malinore. The sun well tickles.
Glory to the Sindori.
With perseverance, strength.
Audiel Shalam. We shall not...
If we don't protect those ships, we'll have sent the people aboard them to die.
Clear the skies and rescue any survivors you can find. They've sunk a ship. Throw the survivor a rope. You got them all! Thank the light! You did it, champion! The civilians escaped the devouring host!
Turalian forgets that victory means nothing if it costs us everything in return.
Baladash, Malinore. What I do for Quel'Thas.
Better to seek forgiveness than permission. Mount up, champion. We must get to the gate before the Vanguard attacks!
Lorthamar could have handled the evacuation, Eretor. You're needed with the Vanguard.
Anaria Shalom.
The Vanguard of the Light. Form a line. Hold this gate.
What do we need to do? Let's do some good. Ready to fight the fight? What do we need to do? We should help. of my father's taught me. We don't always see eye to eye on things, to say the least. High Exarch Terralion is a vaunted battlefield commander, though I think he sometimes forgets how to be anything else.
Don't worry, Eretor. I'm a dragon. And you know what dragons know? Dragons know everything. Let me tell you, your dad loves you. He just doesn't know how to show it. And he just wants to make sure that when he's gone, because he knows he can't live forever, when he's gone, you can take his place. So he's got a lot of pressure on you. He doesn't understand that pressure is wrong. But he does understand he loves you, and you're the only one he trusts. So, you're going to have a lot of difficulty in the future, I'm sure. But you got to keep that in mind. No matter what happens, he cares. Alright. Now, it's not to say that you shouldn't smack his ass down once or twice for being a little bitch, though. Yeah, I'd probably smack him too. Anyway, let's get going.
Fall today. You will not fall today. The light will protect you! Oh, that creature's might. It was in such pain. When I was overcome by wrath, I lashed out in my pain. Is it the same for the void as it is for the light?
Listen, I gotta tell you something. here, Eretor. Technically, that's not the void. The void literally has nothing in it. What's coming at us are pretenders. Pretend like they're in the void, but they ain't the void. Just logic, okay?
The Vanguard has faith with the light, and so do I. But I've also felt it fill me with wrath. And I'm not sure what to think when it does. My mother Ilaria would know better than anyone how to fight the Void. But I haven't seen her for weeks. I just hope. Let's focus on activating the Sentinels. The light will protect you. The light will protect you.
Delanar.
Protect you! Not fall today. Not fall today. The light will protect you. Not fall today. The light will protect you. You will not fall today. Not fall today. The light will protect you. The light will protect you. The light will protect you.
Look around you. Look above you. The void opens your eyes to all possible futures. And in every single one of them, your world is mine to claim. You little people and your struggles. Delicious. You still believe your heroics can defeat my devouring host? My forces are as boundless as my power. My fun is just beginning.
Not fall today. You will not fall today. The light will protect you. The light will protect you. What do we need to do? The light will protect you. The light will protect you. You will not fall today. Ready to fight the fight? You will not fall today.
Eretor, you broke formation. The light chose for you to be here.
You will not fall today. You will not fall today.
Do not let this evil shake your resolve. Be the light the darkness fears.
I am the blade of the light. Albeit...
We cannot allow these Ethereals to pillage our sacred artifacts.
On that we agree. Eretor, hold the line. Champion, seize those weapons.
I am out of range.
belong to Zathedra.
do some good. I've bested every evil I've faced.
Thank the light. You've recovered the artifacts.
Shorel arrived.
Light aid you.
Too far away.
There is no darkness that will not flee.
You got my attention.
I am out of range. I must get closer.
The void has come for Azeroth. Do not let this evil vanguard of the light, with me, push these invaders back to the void that spawned them. For the light!
The light offers respite, but you must press on. Keep going! Do not succumb to the darkness!
Forward! We will push back the shadows!
Hurry, champion. We need your help against that behemoth.
Another of the light. Channel the light from the weapons you recovered. Drive this monster back to the void! Vanguard! Redouble your effort! Today, the Void learns the power of light is supreme!
The old warrior thinks this will be his crowning achievement.
Show yourself, witch!
A paladin staring down the might of the void, with only the absolute conviction that he is right. So brave in the light, how will you fare lost in the void? You are only fragile mortals. You never had a chance.
Pleasantries can wait. I answer to the light. Remain vigilant.
Turalyon, we must regroup at the Sunwell before it's too late!
Damn it all! Vanguard, fall back!
We made it! Light preserve us!
Turalyon is rallying the survivors to the Sunwell chamber. We will beseech the light once more to help us push back the devouring host. The Sunwell brought us salvation before. We must have faith that it will happen again. You are the last of the Vanguard to make it.
Pleasantries can wait. I answer to the light. Fight well. All DL.
Arator, champion, defend us as we perform the ritual.
Too far away. I am out of range. I do not have a target.
Well, it will not save you from Zathedra.
I must get closer.
Pray for your
Too far away.
It will not save you from Zathedra. Extinguish the Sun's radiance!
Light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace I am made one with all that is sacred. The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace I am made one with all that is sacred. The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace I am made one with all that is sacred. Another miracle. Light be praised.
It isn't over, Liadrin. Our friends inside can't maintain this ritual indefinitely.
Have faith, Eretor. This is the light of our salvation.
Pray to your petty will. It will not save you from Zathedra.
I am the Blade of the Light. Fight well.
I greet you on behalf of Silvermoon.
Silvermoon prosper.
The Vanguard of the Light will need quarters and supplies.
I will consider it after I have consulted with the others.
Anaria Shala.
You are not needed. That isn't your decision to make.
I proudly serve as Regent Lord.
Our strength lies in our people.
Aldiel Shalah.
Well, your aid was timely and welcome, Turallion. But remember that Silvermoon and the Sunwell belong to the Sindori. I'll speak to the Vanguard while you get the other matters settled.
This better be important.
You have already taken so many of my Blood Knights to empower the Sunwell. Quel'Thalas is largely undefended.
And I am telling you that it is still not enough. Only by the faith of our forces is the Sunwell holding back the Void.
The Sunwell must not fall.
Then make sure we have everything we need and keep enemies off our backs.
General, perhaps you could see to our forces at the Sunwell. I will discuss matters with the Regent Lord.
As you will it, High Exarch. Vanguard, collect every weapon not nailed to a wall and let's move out! Baladash Malinore. The last I saw shadows descend on Quel'Danas, Arthas marched on our kingdom with his army of Scourge. Now another army marches in our streets, saying they're here for our protection. Are you certain of that?
Glory to the Sin'dorei. That surge from the Sunwell set off the Dragonhawks. They know when there's danger. I've never seen them this unnerved. If the animals are this affected, what about the rest of Eversong?
Baladash Malinore. That burst of energy from the Sunwell, it was more powerful than any magic I've ever encountered. And I am well practiced. They say that army protects us, but I heard the surge was their doing. Do they even understand what they meddle with?
What needs bring you here? All guests are welcome here. With all that has happened, that utterly mad vortex of shadow in the sky, guests are leaving in droves. If I weren't overseeing this place, I'm not so certain I'd still be here myself. If you wish a room, it is yours.
With perseverance, strength. The gates behind me are restricted to members of the Horde only. Avoid the red banners and trees, or there will be consequences.
Let's talk. Of course. The reliquary will lend aid wherever it's needed. Let me know if you're interested as well.
You're needed in Fairbreeze, champion. A problem with the light bloom.
The light of the Sunwell be with you. What I do...
Use this arcane projector to keep us informed.
Eretor, you may be needed at the Sunwell.
Is everything all right, Lady Liadrin? You've said little since we arrived.
My apologies. My thoughts are with the Sunwell. I did not expect it to react with such... force.
You ask, and the light provides. Need it be more complicated than that?
She speaks of the Sunwell, not the light.
Your fount was blessed by the heart of Anaru. It is one and the same.
I suggest you hold your tongue, High Exarch. That fount you so blithely pretend to understand predates the existence of human civilization. And in all that time, I have never heard of the Sunwell reacting with that kind of aggression. Liadrin, what was that beam of light?
I wish I knew. It holds back the void, yet I still wonder if the Sunwell is capable of such power. What else will it do?
That question worries me, Liadrin. Is it wrong for it to do so?
The effects of the Sunwell have never been malicious. It has blessed Eversong's forests with small groves of light bloom for years.
Small at first, but Fairbreeze now reports a problem. If the Sunwell is aggressive, what of the light bloom?
These worries will lead you nowhere, Regent Lord. As long as the Vanguard maintains the connection to the Sunwell, the light will see us through. Have faith. That is all that is needed from you.
Perhaps you should save your words for when they are asked for, High Exarch. I suspect they would be better received.
Senua Minore.
Anu Belore Delana. Sunwell's glory shine on you.
You're Orwenna, aren't you? My mother Ilaria told me about you.
Speak up. What brings you here?
Baladash Malanore. May the Eternal Sun guide you. Aldir.
Anaria Shala. May my goods serve you well. Treat my wares with care.
With perseverance, strength, Sunwell's glory shine on.
We endure. We shall not falter. What needs bring you here? Shorel Aran. With perseverance, strength. A new Vala Valoria.
Our enemies will fall. We will have justice.
I cannot use that.
Well, I'm really tired, everybody. I had a lot of fun. Just doing little stuff. It's always fun for me. You know? And the funny thing is, it's the same type of thing that you can do in, like, Minecraft, but I never really... I could never really get into Minecraft. I built, like, a home once. I thought it was really cool. Once I was finished, I was like, I'm so over this block thing. And I was done. Anyway, love y'all. Take care. Bye.